Today we celebrate the feast of St. Lawrence, the deacon, and St. Lawrence was the deacon in Rome, one of 7 deacons that was working with Pope St. Sixtus II. As we heard on Friday, we heard of the martyrdom of Pope St. Sixtus, and Lawrence sees him going off to martyrdom and says, Father, where are you going without your deacon? And he says, don't worry, I'm not leaving you. In 3 days you'll join me. And he did. But so with that, he then gives away, he was responsible, one of the deacons responsible for helping the poor and the sick. So he gave away all the money that he had and was selling some things from the church in order to give more to those who are sick. Well, the prefect of Rome, who was a very greedy man, saw how much that he was giving away and everything, and he says, ooh, there must be a lot of riches that the church has. So he said, bring all the treasures of the church to me. And he says, it'll take 3 days. Boy, was that Roman prefect excited. It's going to take 3 days to gather all of the wealth of the church. This is going to be really good. And so Lawrence goes and he gathers all the wealth of the church, which were the sick and the poor and the suffering, and brings them all before the prefect, who was not amused. And so because of that, the prefect then had Lawrence martyred in a very painful way, as he had him slow roasted, not like a pyre that like St. Joan of Arc went through, but a slow roast on the gridiron. And we see St. Lawrence has his eyes on heaven, his eyes on Jesus. And so because of that, he's able to have a sense of humor, as he quotably said, at one point, being there, he says, I'm done on this side, turn me over. There's a saint for you. But so we look and we hear Jesus says to us today in the gospel, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains just a grain of wheat. But if it dies, it produces much fruit. Recognizing that there is so much greater than even this life. There's so much greater than even this life. And St. Lawrence had his eyes fixed on that time he was going to be with Jesus. And because of that, he had the courage, because of his love for Jesus, he had the courage to endure such suffering. I pray that none of you are ever slow roasted. But I also pray that our love for Jesus may expand so that no matter what comes in our life, our eyes will be fixed on Him through the suffering, through the struggles. You know, there are some Christians out there, they follow what they call the prosperity gospel, that if I just do everything Jesus asks me to do, if I'm just faithful enough, if I just tithe enough, then everything will come to me in this world. That in this world I will have plenty, and I will have comfort, and I will have ease. That goes exactly opposite of what Jesus says, right? If you're to be my disciple, you must what? Take up your cross every day and follow me. Deny ourselves. So we look at those who are closest over the centuries, those who are closest to Jesus. They did not escape suffering. The one who was the closest to Jesus, our Blessed Mother, she suffered more than any other human person as she stood at the foot of the cross. Our life, we can't escape suffering. But if we, like St. Lawrence, can keep our eyes in love fixed on Jesus, we will find a reason, a purpose, a meaning for the suffering that will get us through, give us the courage to get through, because we know that, as St. Paul says, this light affliction that we have is nothing compared to the weight of glory that God has prepared for us.